One Piece chapter 1099, which is just one chapter away from, the landmark chapter 1100, is finally here and it continues the trajectory of Kuma. But it looks like this time Kuma hasn't suffered that much in this chapter. But yes, let's get right into the recap. But before we continue, I want you guys to subscribe to my channel. It's been almost a year since I started this channel, so it will be really encouraging for me to do these kind of videos if you do subscribe. So yes, with that in mind, let's get right back into the video. Detail from this chapter is that King Bikuri has returned to attack on the Sorbet Kingdom, and this time King Bikuri has some inspiration of some events that happened in the Great Terminal in the Goa Kingdom, as we know in Luffy, Sabo, and Ace's backstory, where they actually burned. And I'm kind of surprised that this is all interconnected, and Kuma was actually there in Goa Kingdom when that happened, when they rescued Sabo. So this is all kind of interesting how things have come full circle, and now Kuma has to defend Sorbet Kingdom from the same kind of thing that happened near the Great Terminal. King Bikori totally underestimated how much Kuma powerful is because Kuma is on a rampage this time. I've literally never seen Kuma get this angry before, and so does Bonney. I mean, Bonney does say that, and we see Kuma destroying the entirety of the castle with just his Usa shock with a massive, huge attack, and King Bikori is gone for good. Kinda, because he kinda escapes, and this is the angriest Kuma that I've seen, which looks more and more similar to the one that we'll see in the future. What happens next is that King Kuma has returned. I mean, Kuma has become king now, elected by the people, and people wouldn't take no for an answer when Kuma, of course, denies that he doesn't want to be a king. But yes, he is the king of Sorbet Kingdom, but also he's kinda a placeholder kind of thing, because the one who actually rules is King Bulldog, who actually is the previous ruler of the Sorbet Kingdom, and he is given that post to back to him, and he just stays back in his church like the kind decent man that he is actually. Also, the escaped King Bikori didn't just stay silent, because he actually told the entire world government that Kuma is a tyrant, because Kuma is it seems that Bikuri is the one who gave the tyrant nickname or moniker to Kuma, and it seems Kuma is the tyrant king, and he has forcibly acquired the Sorbet Kingdom or conquered the Sorbet Kingdom from King Bikori, and that's the false story that he has created, which is insanely messed up. So Bonnie runs and comes inside, and we see everyone getting shocked that it is actually Ginny, because Bonnie has aged herself up. Somehow she has eaten a devil fruit, which I was kind of sad that we didn't really get to see how she ate her fruit, but I guess it's not really important. Now she just has the power. That's all you need to believe. And everyone is shocked, and Kuma even faints because he can't handle it, because she looks exactly like Ginny. Everyone loves Ginny. So the mother of King Bulldog is called Connie, funnily, even though she doesn't actually, is related to both Bonnie or Ginny. She's just some random person, some old hag that, adult Bonnie actually takes form in the present storyline, like near the Mauricio incident that happened that day. She took Connie's form, and there's this running gag in the entire chapter where everyone is holding Connie and thinking it's Bonnie who aged up, while Bonnie is clearly in the background trying to get hold of her powers. And yes, she still can't transform, but she will definitely in the future, which is kind of surprising that they look alike. Soon we find out that Kuma is setting out to sea to, becoming a pirate because of this, trying to find a cure to Bonnie. I mean, Bonnie is really lonely in the castle with Connie and, Bulldog. She doesn't really want to go out, because, she can't, the sunlight affects her. Now we also have Kuma's bounty poster. We don't know what the bounty is, but yes, it's high because he's such a huge pirate. We don't know if we had a crew or not. And also, I was these many years old when I figured out that that Kuma is actually wearing glasses, and those are not actually white robotic eyes. Those are actual glasses, and I didn't really know that until now. And while Kuma is gone, we see that Bonnie is actually training inside the castle, beating up adult men in the process. And I didn't really understand at first that she is capable of doing that, but I guess that explains the future where she is actually strong and she's capable of fighting. Well, this kind of proves that. So we pick up with Kuma's story where he's out on sea and there are three huge navy battleships which has come to, kill Kuma or capture Kuma or something like that, led by King Bikori because they all believe that Kuma is a tyrant. Well, Kuma has said enough of this and he sinks the entire fleet. We don't know if Bikori is alive, but I guess he might be because he has more willpower than Luffy himself. Also, another very clever detail, one of the best pages from this chapter, is Kuma actually visiting every island that he sent the Straw Hats during the time skip period. And this kind of, just fills in the speculation that Kuma actually knew where he was sending each crew member because he knew that would get them stronger. This kind of confirms it. I mean, it was never really confirmed. We all knew that he sent them away because, everyone always thought, like, how did he send them to the perfect islands? Well, guess what? He actually visited all of those islands and tried to get a few cure for Bonney, and I guess he learned a lot about those islands and he sent the specific straw hat to the specific place, which is really heartwarming to know that even that cyborg thing had a heart. Then we finally see, Dragon and Kuma reuniting after a really long time. Morley is also present, also Bello Betty. I guess Betty is her name. So Betty asks Kuma permission to become the Eastern, Forces leader, which Kuma is surprised that there is no Eastern Forces leader. It seems Dragon insisted that he never actually wanted anyone other than Ginny because, sentimental reasons. But Kuma is fine with Betty becoming the Eastern Forces captain because, another angry badmouth lady is good at that. I mean, he's just thinking of Ginny, of course, but he's okay with Betty being, and that's why Betty is now the Eastern headquarters captain. So Dragon talks about his old friend Vegapunk and sends him to Egghead Island. It seems Vegapunk actually transferred here because of an accident that happened in his previous lab called Punk Hazard because of someone named Caesar Clown, which is amazing because we are getting some glances at real life incidents that actually happened when the Straw Hats were on the run. So this is amazing. We also see Nezuko Bonney because I mean she's in a box afraid of sunlight, and both are really surprised. Like Vegapunk is surprised of his huge body and Kuma is surprised of his huge head, which is kind of interesting and funny at the same time. I can't wait for this to get animated with actual voices. Cute background detail that I actually found was Sentamaru playing with Bonnie. This makes this present scene where Sentamaru actually saved a falling Bonnie even more cute because of how they are. Sentamaru doesn't really look like that he's having fun, but Bonnie definitely is. But yes, Sentamaru is also good with kids, and it seems that they haven't actually grown old. It's just like been a year since these heavens happen actually. Well, guess what? Vegapunk can cure, the scales that on Bonnie, and he asks Kuma's help. That is, he's shocked that Kuma is a buccaneer, but he needs help because he needs the perfect body to start his clone army. The clone army is actually, pacifistas, and he's actually starting to plan that, and he needs Kuma's help. Kuma's ready to do that. He'll do a deal with the devil itself just to, get his daughter cured. So they have a deal, and they have to bring a huge army of clone, super warriors who protect people. I mean, that's what they think. Also, guess what? Saint Saturn is actually hearing on in this conversation, as the sneaky old man that he is. I'm really, really surprised how much of Saint Saturn we are getting in this backstory as well as everything that's happening in the present. I really hope the same thing happens to the other four elders where they're actually integrated to the main storyline, like just like Saint Saturn. And Saint Saturn has some plans. He has some sinister plans to be exact, and I guess he will use that his everything to do something bad to Kuma's life. We see the last page where Vegapunk and Kuma are talking about this peacekeeping clone army, and Kuma is actually happy if he actually gets to create an army of peacekeeping robots, which is basically what he wants. He will think that is his life purpose to protect as many people as he can, and they need to come up with a name, and Vegapunk calls him a saint and he says he's no saint, he's just a spineless pacifist, which is where, Vegapunk gets the name Pacifista and he names those robots as Pacifistas, which is insane. This is where they got its name. Well, I don't know about you guys, but this is shaping up to be one of the most saddest backstories of One Piece. I still don't know if it's going to have a happy ending, but I'm insanely sure that people are going to cry when this gets animated. I really want to see the switch in the story, more about Bonnie and Kuma's relationship, more about what Saturn does to them. I guess it's going to happen. There is no break next week, so yes, we'll be seeing that. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and get me to 1000 subscribers as fast as you can. I know it's asking much, but I think I can rely on you guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, sayonara guys. Chai out.